Hey everybody, we're the gardening Grubs. I'm Guy and this is Zamia popping up from the ground like a grub or a plant. Anyway, today we're going to show you a very easy way of increasing sweet potatoes or planting more, basically. They're super duper easy to grow. All you need is a sweet potato, or if you walk past a sweet potato bush, you can just chop off a length. So what I've done here is this is a sweet potato runner. They can take over a place. I've seen some spots where they virtually are taking over a place, and you need like a whippersnapper.
Growing in our garden.
That's it, because I love it, and they're super duper easy to make more of, to grow more sweet potatoes. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one up into sections, and we're going to cut this sweet potato into halves, and we're going to suspend them in water. And I'll show you a good way of doing it. So my co-host here, Zamia, is going to chop a sweet potato in half, and she's going to sharpen some sticks to make some prongs so we can suspend the sweet potato in water. And this will make the sweet potato want to put some roots out, which is a really good sign, because that means we could chuck it in the ground, it's going to grow, basically. So anyway, while she's doing that, I've got this vine here, and it's got some real big leaves, and we can just rip these big leaves off, because the vine here is having a hard time keeping the moisture to them at the moment, because I ripped it out maybe an hour or two ago. You want to do it as quickly as you can, and if you don't have any time, just chuck it in a bucket of water anyway. But I'm ripping these big leaves off because they take a lot of moisture to keep full and happy. So we're ripping the big leaves off, and I've just left some of the little ones here. And you'll see that there's little shoots here, a couple of the smaller leaves popping out, growing out from the side. This is great, because basically these are going to be this is going to be the start of your new potato plant. And what you can do is you can get your pair of secateurs or a knife, or if you're really rough, you can just also cut it yourself. But we're going to cut it just like that. So we've got a length like that. That's a short length. If you've got good soil, that should be fine. And what we do is or you have a bucket or something like that, you just chuck it in a bucket and leave it. It's simple gardening, not crazy hectic. Got to 10 things. Sweet potatoes are robust and versatile. So that was a pretty short one. You can also do some longer ones. You can bury them in the ground so that just the little leaves pop up and they go boop, 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 just like Sam said. And these nodes here will pop out roots when it finds moisture and it finds nutrients, and they'll just do their thing. And before you know it, you'll have things popping up. So you can just chuck that straight in the ground and bury it. Or you can chuck it into a pot, because after a while they will shoot out roots. Or you could just, if you're not ready to put it in the ground yet, you can just keep them in a pot until you are ready to put it in the ground. It's as simple as that. Now each one of these, if they're successful, they send out their shoots and their leaves and all that sort of stuff, and they gather all the nutrients from the sun and the air and the ground and things. And you should be able to, every successful plant that you put in, you should be able to get a sweet potato in like 6, 8 months, whatever. You can just pop them in, forget about it. And then when you're feeling a bit hungry, you can just go, I feel like potato chips tonight, eh? Hey Zam, can you go out in the backyard and get me a couple of sweet potatoes? And off she goes into the backyard, and she fossicks around and gets a couple of sweet potatoes. We've got some big ones before. And there you go, chop them up, make some chips. Oh, everyone loves chips. Anyway, these sweet potatoes, we've got those pokey, spiky sticks. We're going to pop a stick in 3 parts of this sweet potato here. 1, 2, looks like a little person.
I'm a sweet potato person. Hi, how are you doing?
3.
Oh no, stab me in the back. Anyway.
All right, so I'll pop them in on the angle so that the sweet potato will sit easier in the jar.
Okay, I'll make one for you.
So I'll get the jar of water, I'll get the jar here, and that should just sit in the jar with its bottom down further in the jar so you don't have to fill it up with so much water. And you fill it up with water. These has got some seeds from the last demonstration that we did for y'all. There we go. And that you can pop that on your windowsill and just forget about it, and all of us one day you'll see like little white wormy things coming off the bottom, and it might even be shooting green shoots off the top. Another way is, the really easy way is to just leave it in a dark space. And generally, a sweet potato has enough energy in it to pop its own little its own little leaves.
And you don't have to just forget about it.
No, you can think about it constantly and compose music to it and things like that. But basically, sweet potato is super easy. Let it sprout its leaves, chop it in half, chuck it in the garden. It'll do its thing. It'll take over. You'll need a whippersnipper to get rid of it. But they are delicious. And you can even eat the fresh young leaves as well. Oh, delicious. Put them in a curry or put them in a salad. They're lovely. Thanks, everyone. Happy gardening.